may find yourself not getting the grades that you want, and you may find yourself stuck in this endless cycle of fruitless revision and results that you are not happy with. Everyone around you may be telling you things like, oh, you need to do more revision, or you need to change like your revision technique, or use this resource or that, and that's all like valid advice. But what if I told you that the real reason that you may be struggling may be because of something else altogether, something that is far more deep rooted, and that reason could very well be your own subconscious mind. So the mind is divided into two parts. You have the conscious mind and you have the subconscious mind. Think of it like the iceberg. You have like the tip of the iceberg above the surface, right? That's the conscious mind. That's like, so everything that you can think about, that you're thinking about right now in your short term, everything that you're perceiving and sensing, that's all in your conscious mind. In your subconscious mind, you have things like your beliefs, your values, deep rooted insecurities, for example, buried childhood memories, things you dream about. That's all in the subconscious. That's all buried within the surface, underneath everything else in your mind. And within the subconscious mind, you can have things called limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs are basically a belief that is holding you back from achieving what you want to achieve, or holding you back from doing certain things within your life. They are deep rooted ideas within your subconscious, and because they're within your subconscious, you don't tend to realize that they're there, and they influence your personality and your behavior, and they can lead to things like self-fulfilling prophecies. For example, a limiting belief that someone may have with regards to their grades is that I suck at maths, for example. And because that is deep rooted within your subconscious, even though that may not necessarily be true, because you believe it, our brains, they want to find proof to support their beliefs, because you want to have a congruent way of thinking. Your brain wants to be congruent and coherent. It wants everything to match up. It likes having things that match up. When it has a belief, it wants proof to support that belief. And if you do not have proof to support a belief, then your brain can sometimes make that proof to support the belief. It will find things to support the belief. So for example, if your belief within your brain is that you suck at maths, then your brain will try to find proof that you suck at maths and make you suck at maths. So when you go into your class, or when you do your past paper, then you may end up not performing as well as you would like to, purely because, not because you can't do maths or you're not revising enough, but because of your limiting belief. And it may not be as obvious or surface level as I suck at maths. It could just be something like more implicit or more complex. And you may be thinking like, why would I even put that belief in there? You don't necessarily mean to put that belief in there, because it's a belief that develops within the subconscious mind and it plays in the back of your head. That's how it influences your behavior without you realizing it's doing it. And they can come about from things like constant criticism, bad experiences, especially in early childhood. For example, you could have like a really bad maths paper in early childhood and everyone could have like made fun of you for it. That can lead to a limiting belief. And also overgeneralizing. Our brains love to overgeneralize because it likes to find shortcuts to make things simpler for them to understand their reality. So when something happens, like a standalone event, for example, you could get like a really bad grade in just one maths paper. Your brain will tend to overgeneralize so that it believes that you are bad at maths in general, and that forevermore you'll be getting bad grades just because of that one maths paper, because it's overgeneralizing. It's making things simpler for it in basic terms. It wants to keep you safe, therefore it wants to overgeneralize and take little events and blow them out of proportion, and that can lead to things like limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs are maintained by this thing called self-sabotage, where basically subconsciously, because of the belief that you have, you want to make sure you stay at that belief. Like I said before, your brain likes to find proof to support beliefs, so it may lead to things like self-sabotage, where you subconsciously sabotage your own actions to make yourself line up with your beliefs, simply because you may subconsciously be feeling uncomfortable about not being aligned with your belief. This can come in the form of three different things. They're called the 3 P's of self-sabotage. Procrastination. Procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. Perfectionism, the all or nothing mentality. If you were to like lose a few marks, or if you were to like have like a series of past papers and then you do badly in one, then that means you think overall that, oh, I didn't do well in that one paper, that means I'm no good at maths. And then your brain will ignore everything else, all the other papers that you did really well in. And also pessimism, negative thinking patterns. They hold you back, they distort your cognition, because it all begins with your thoughts. Now, I don't want you to be sitting there thinking, oh, but how am I going to solve like limiting beliefs? Like, if they're in my subconscious, what am I supposed to do about that? I don't want you to be sitting there thinking that you're doomed, because you are not. There are ways to overcome it. I'm going to give you 3. That is visualizations, affirmations, and combating overthinking and negativity. So let's start with visualizations. Visualizations is when you picture a scenario that is made up within your mind and you make it really vivid. Let's go with the original example about you sucking at maths. So you could visualize a scenario where you did really, really well in maths, like you get like an A star or something in A-level maths, or you get like a 9 in GCSE maths. Just sit down, close your eyes, do some deep breathing, make the intention of what your visualization is going to be about, and then imagine yourself right from the beginning walking into that exam hall and sitting down, opening the paper, understanding every question, being able to answer it with perfect accuracy, finishing the paper on time, and then fast forward to results day, you open your results and you get a 9. And then incorporate really strong emotions into that visualization, pour yourself into that visualization, like happy emotions, positive emotions, and try and use your senses. Like, what can you smell or see or hear within the exam hall to make it as vivid as possible, basically, so the stronger associations. I've heard something before, like, where your brain actually records visualizations as real memories. It can't distinguish between the two. It's like, for example, if you imagine biting into a lemon, you'll start salivating even though you haven't actually bitten into a lemon, because you're imagining it. Your brain can't distinguish a lot of the time between reality and non-reality, for want of a better word. So then it can record these things as real memories, and that can influence and help to override limiting beliefs over time, because visualizations work their way into your subconscious as well, and an idea will remain in your brain until you replace it with something that contradicts it. Then we go on to our next point, which is affirmations. Affirmation is another great way of overriding limiting beliefs, because again, those affirmations can work their way into your subconscious brain. What you can do is I have like a gratitude app where I just put my affirmations on there and then I play them every day. You can do something like that, or you can just write down a list on like a notepad or something of affirmations, like, I am good at maths. Make sure it's like directed at you, and that it's in the positive. Don't say like, I do not suck at maths, because that's in the negative, even though it means the same thing. It's framed in the negative, so frame it in the positive. Instead of saying I do not suck at maths, say I am good at maths. Do you get me? And then repeat those every day, and that can help to work their way into your subconscious as well. Last thing is to combat overthinking and negativity. So what you can do for that is, every time you feel like a negative thought is coming on, you can out loud physically say stop, like out loud say stop. That kind of sound effect, that use of the senses can help to bring you out of that negative thinking. Obviously, like, if you're sitting in like a coffee shop or something, don't say stop then, because then like everyone's gonna be like looking at you like, who's this weirdo? Do it like in private. You can also do visualizations as well. So every time you feel like a negative chain of thought happening, then you can visualize like a huge metal wall coming down, separating you from the negative thoughts. Or you can imagine putting the negativity into a red balloon and then watching it float away. Also, what you can do is you can get like those elastic hairbands, or like a rubber band. You can just put it around your wrist. I know some girls like to do that with their hair and stuff. Like, they like to have like a spare hairband around their wrist, and then every time you feel like a negative train of thought coming, just pull the band gently and smack it against your wrist. Again, gently, not enough to hurt yourself, but just enough that you feel that tap. And that physical action can help again to bring you out of that negative chain of thinking. And yeah, that's all the advice I have to offer you. Hopefully this will help, and hopefully this has given you a fresh perspective on why you may not be achieving the grades that you want. Try some of the techniques that I recommended in this video, and I just want to say clearly here that I'm not saying that this is all you need to get good grades. Obviously, you still need to be doing revision. You still need to be doing as much as you can, studying really hard as much as you can. But this is something else to consider as well, to do the internal work, to build your mind up for success, to program your brain for success, basically. And yeah, good luck with all your exams. You got this. And yeah, bye guys.